Let me show you what it actually takes to get 1,000, 100,000, or 1,000,000 views. And whether or not 1,000,000 views is actually your goal. It's not about more time, it's not about more money. It's a fundamental set of laws that progress you from 1,000 to 100,000 to 1,000,000 views. And good news is, it's actually quite simple. To crack 1,000 views, you basically have one job. And I mean it, just one job, because this is the only thing that matters to get 1,000 views. And 1,000 views might be good enough. So before we make a video, make your thumbnail first. A killer video with a terrible thumbnail, you might cap 100 views. But an average video with a killer thumbnail, 1,000 views easy. People I work with do it all the time. Now, what makes a good thumbnail? It's gotta do two things. A thumbnail needs to visually convey the hook of the video. Ask yourself, what's the hook? Because odds are, a face pointing to text is not the hook. I'm making a video about, can I reverse years of bad eating habits by copying the longest living people on Earth? This might be an average thumbnail, but it doesn't convey the hook. You're focused on your face, and unfortunately my face isn't pretty enough to be a hook. What if it's, I copied the diet of the longest living people on Earth? Now, this is a good thumbnail. This is really focused on the hook, but there's still one thing that it's missing. I don't really need to watch this. The second thing you need to do to make a killer thumbnail is to make it so people can't not watch the video. When I change the thumbnail to this, it hurts me to not click this video, to not know what on earth this claim is that he's making. I'm realizing more and more that your thumbnail and your hook, they're kind of the same thing. I use StudioForge to plan all of my thumbnails ahead of time. It's an app that my buddy and I made, and it really helps you come up with killer ideas, killer thumbnails, and killer videos. And we made it so everyone here can get 12 killer video ideas for free. Link below in the description, but this applies no matter what tool you use. Look, for 1,000 views, you don't need cinematic edits, you don't even need to be good on camera. To get 1,000 views, you just need a killer thumbnail. And 1,000 views might be good enough. But if 1,000 views isn't enough, maybe 100,000 views is. A 100,000 views requires a killer thumbnail and a killer video. Now that you know what people are going to click, what's the best way to deliver that? You could do crazy cinematic edits, you could do raw ones, you could do scripted, you could do unscripted, you could do faceless, you could do talking head. None of these are prescribed for 100,000 views. Your video comprises two components, an intro and the delivery. Because you've dialed in what people are going to click, your intro needs to align completely with your thumbnail. How can you pay off the thumbnail immediately? Like in the very first frame if you can. Watch this. The thumbnail is, why do you postpone yourself?
I know that a big part of the reason why you clicked on this video was because that sentence called out to you in the title. And you'll be amazed to know that very insightful and very mesmerizing sentence is 2,000 years old.
Oh, I clicked on a video called Why Am I Postponing Myself? And he's able to perfectly align with the thumbnail. That's the power of being able to know your thumbnail ahead of time and then to align your intro with it. To the point where you kind of start to realize the thumbnail and your intro, they're kind of one and the same. Once you've aligned with your thumbnail, you need to open a loop with a clear promise in the video. Watch how one of my favorite channels makes a promise in their video. Only something I would watch.
Mini splits installed last summer because they give us air conditioning and they're also quite efficient at heating. But I'm curious, how much more efficient are they than just plain old electric heating? And just to observe how this thing is doing, I've got a couple of temperature sensors where it sucks in the air, another one where it blows out the air, plus a homemade anemometer to gauge how much it's blowing.
That's called opening a loop. I know that by the end of this video, I'm going to clearly scientifically find out if mini split heat pumps are more efficient in the winter. How could I not trust this guy? This guy's living my dream. And while these might be the tangible requirements for a killer video, you can turn it up to 11 with some emotional build.
They call you the godfather of AI. So what would you be saying to people about their career prospects in a world of superintelligence?
Trained to be a plumber.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna become a plumber.
Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit more.
You left.
Yeah.
Why?
So that I could talk freely at a conference.
What did you want to talk about freely?
How dangerous AI could be.
That's how you build emotion in an intro. You emphasize the sensational bits of how dangerous AI can be. Higher production value, but that's killer emotion. And once you've proven what your thumbnail and your intro are gonna be, it becomes obvious what you need to deliver. And the best key I've discovered with my clients to getting 100,000 views, have one clear, simple point of your video. Anything that does not contribute to that one clear objective has to be cut. Most of my videos start off at like 20 minutes, like they're a nightmare. I'm trying to focus on 6 different things when I just need to focus on one. Trust me, I'd love to go more in depth on topics. And in StudioForge, I do. These are much longer, more in-depth masterclasses where I spend a lot of time going into how to make a thumbnail, how to make a killer edit. And everyone can access these for free in StudioForge. But on YouTube, I need to focus on one simple idea. The art of your video totally depends on you. But these are the honest requirements for 100,000 views. And 100,000 views would be awesome for most of you. But for some of you, you know you want more. You gotta make it to the top. You might not need 1 million views, but if you do, it's time to lock in. I can't show you exactly the video that'll get you 1 million views, but I can show you the process. At this point, you've maxed out your thumbnail and you've maxed out your video, but those can only go so far as the fundamental underlying idea beneath them. An idea isn't just the topic, it's the hook. We should have reversed this process all along. You need to start with the idea. Here's what this process looks like. I explained to StudioForge what my channel looks like, my unique angle I want to tackle. It generates 12 killer video ideas, but these are just the starting points. I'll select 3 of these, but then I'll start to flesh them out more. I listen for that feeling like what's a killer valuable angle and what resonates with me and my friends. This is the difference between an average topic and a killer hook. This topic has no emotional tension to it. Whereas this killer idea taps into those fears, the dream. It makes someone think, is it too late to fix my body? It's starting to sound like a killer idea, but this next step is what can totally revolutionize your entire channel, maybe your life. Workshop it with people. This is where the real magic begins. I spam all my family, my friends, world-class YouTube experts to get their take on the ideas. And 90% of my ideas kind of get a meh response until one angle starts to hit. I use StudioForge to break down my ideas and then to send them to friends to test them. And you should never be short on ideas. Sign up for StudioForge to get you 12 killer ideas perfectly suited to your channel. It's free so that anyone from any circumstance in any country can get started on this. There's no excuse at this point. My dad has always had dreams of starting a cooking channel, and I'll never forget the look on his face 2 weeks ago when he used the tool and he's able to see his dreams start to come to life. A killer idea times a killer thumbnail times a killer video, that taps into something bigger than just you. Because 1 million views, it's no longer about you, it's about them. Like, I genuinely care so much about providing as much value as I can in these videos. Like, it pains me, it consumes me, and at its worst, it paralyzes me. But that's because I want you to not watch more of my videos, but to watch one video, go do something, and then come back to keep learning more. You don't have to chase 1 million views if you don't want to. Ask yourself honestly, what do you actually want? And man, if there's been one thing that's been clear in my life this year, I know what I want. I know who I want to be. I know the kind of man that I want to be. I've never felt this kind of clarity before. And through all the pain and through all the joy, I can't get enough of it right now. Something is redeeming me. Something is showing me what I really want. And I can't stop. And I won't stop. Anyways, it took me about 3 hours to hike up this mountain. It's gonna take me 3 hours to get down. And my fingers are so cold.